are you the type of woman that when you date somebody, you automatically assume that's your husband?
Yeah. Not anymore, but I used to do that for a while.
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Johanna King. What's going on?
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Can we go there?
Yeah.
All right. So you were writing scriptures with this gentleman.
Yeah.
On the 4x4s in the house, on the walls of the house. To the world, it looked like this was your husband, fiance. What happened with that relationship?
Chaos and destruction. It was bad. I'm going to pull a Laterras move. Just show the ring next time. Don't show the face. Coin that as the Laterras move.
When you look back from a discerning spirit, what did you miss?
The thing that I was concerned about in the very beginning is what ended our relationship that I ignored.
Which was what?
Too close with the baby mama. It was my first co-parenting relationship. I had no idea what to expect. He considered her family. I guess like they had the same DoorDash account, but I was trying to be understanding.
Where did the understanding cease? Do you ever look back and say, I should have been married by now?
No, I'm okay with God's timing because whenever I tried to go ahead of him, it just was horrible. So I've learned to just let him be my matchmaker.
I don't believe in saved. Saved from what?
So might tell you my testimony. Before coming to Christ, I had 2 abortions. I had so much guilt and shame. There was nothing that could take away that shame until I met Jesus.
What made you share that story?
Because the enemy is overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony.
Hey, y'all. God is good, y'all. Hold on.
So you tell me you ain't scared to just walk up to total strangers while they inebriated and just start challenging them with faith?
No, I think the Lord just gave me a type of boldness to do it.
How do you reconcile in your mind why you haven't met your husband yet?
Well, I think I may have.
You gonna elevate him like that?
We're about to do marriage counseling.
Good.
Hopefully this age as well.
The Dear Future Wifey podcast has global impact. From Texas.
I have been on this journey of healing and self-discovery, and this podcast has been a vital part of my process.
Guyana.
God's establishing through you a legacy, a display of freedom found in authentic spirituality.
California.
I've learned so much as a single man through your podcast and continue to learn so much as now a married man.
Nigeria.
This is just therapy for me. I've been healed. I've been strengthened in my convictions. I've understood how to do singlehood better.
Amsterdam.
The way that you've shown us how it is possible for a man to be as intentional as you are.
New Jersey.
I appreciate your vulnerability. I appreciate just being able to see that there is life after divorce.
To New York.
I am a single woman, so these episodes really give me hope and courage that God does have a husband for me.
Discover, uncover, and recover love. I'm Laterras Whitfield, and this is season 10 of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. I'm your host, Laterras Whitfield. Listen, are you still shacking up with us? If you're still shacking up with us, can we get a commitment? Hit that subscription button and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified about upcoming episodes. Listen, I am so excited. Y'all know that on November the 22nd, I will be exchanging vows with my future wifey. I always think it's a special episode when she's in studio. So she is in the studio. And I'm going to ask Johanna to verify that so y'all know I ain't playing.
She is, and she's beautiful.
see, that's what's up. So y'all don't think that she's a ghost. And so she really is in 3D. But listen, this episode is going to be very special. I've been knowing this queen for years, for at least about 3 years at this point. And I've been watching how radical she has become in her faith. And she lives her faith out loud. And so without further ado, welcome to Dear Future Wifey podcast, my homie, Johanna King. What's going on?
What's up? Thank you for having me.
People have been DMing me for the last 2 years, keep saying, and I always screenshot it and I send it to you and be like, here's somebody that hasn't seen when your video said I need to have you on the podcast. How do you feel when I'll send you a screenshot letting you know that you've caught somebody's attention where they feel like your story is valuable to be told on the yellow couch?
I think it feels amazing. And I'm so excited that we finally made it happen because I'm like, Laterras, you finally going to like take what they want into consideration.
You're going to give the people what they want.
Right. So it's been like, 3 years?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think that this is a time. I think this is a time of you've been very transparent with your journey with me personally. And so we always talk about relationships that you get in. You'll hit me up and be like, hey, this is what I'm going through or whatnot. Before we get started, I want to make sure that y'all go hit the link in the description and get the book, Student of Love. We want to make sure that the pre-orders of the book is absolutely amazing, because what that does is it lets not only the publisher know that this is a highly anticipated book, but for some of the big box stores, your Walmarts, your Amazons, it makes them order a lot of books so that they can be on hand because they realize this is a hot item. Now, with Student of Love, love isn't about finding the one, it's about becoming the one. So this whole book is not just a book about romance. It's a book about all love relationships that we get the privilege to enjoy, to make sure that we show up holistically and that we value those relationships that we have. So make sure you go click the link in the description, get Student of Love. I was married, cheated, flunked out of marriage. These eyes have seen the pain of failure, but also the possibility of redemption. These ears have heard the lies. You'll never change. But they've also caught the whisper of truth. Laterras, you can learn love on a level you've never known. This finger once carried a vow I wasn't ready to honor. Today is empty, but it's unashamed. It's waiting on a covenant I'll protect with wisdom. Will you marry me? I'm no expert. I'm just a fellow student. I've sat in love's classroom, even spent time in detention, but now I live with intention. That's why I wrote Student of Love, because learning love never ends. Sit next to me and cheat off of my paper. Cheat? Tony, should I use a better word? Let's just cut to the chase. Pre-order this book and start the journey on becoming a true student of love. Class is now in session. So, Johanna, do you consider yourself a student of love?
I do, yes.
Why?
I feel like when it comes to love, I feel like, honestly, some type of deliverance needs to take place, honestly, when it comes to actually becoming married. I feel like during our journey of going through relationships, we can be hurt a lot of times. And oftentimes, if you don't heal from that hurt, you can take it into your next relationship, and the enemy can use that to prevent you from stepping into the promises that God has for you. So I definitely feel like I'm a student of love, like healing from things and just being delivered and just walking into everything that God has for me.
Let me ask you this. Are you comfortable sharing how old you are?
Yes, I'm 33.
At what age did you think you would be married?
25.
So at 25, why do a lot of women say 25? What is so special about 25?
I think we've just been programmed to believe that.
And so you told yourself you was going to be married at 25. Were you in a serious relationship around that time?
I don't think so. I wasn't even really a believer. So by that time I got to 25, I didn't really care about marriage or anything.
Really?
Yeah.
So who was the 25-year-old Johanna?
Party girl, bottle service girl.
You was a bottle service?
Working in nightclubs.
In what city?
DC.
So you was doing bottle service in DC?
Yes.
So you always lived in DC?
Yeah.
So when did you give your life to Christ?
About 2020.
2020?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been in this thing for just 5 years?
Yeah.
So hold on then. All right, this is new. So at 25 to about 28, who was Johanna back then?
I was working in nightlife. I started off as a bottle service girl. Then I still worked at the nightclub, but I graduated to the marketing executive assistant. But I was in the nightclub day and night, literally. That was my whole life. I could go up to any nightclub in DC, go to the front, be let in. Like, my friends called me the mayor of the city. Because
you had access to all the nightclubs.
Yes.
So when you go in with some, you go all the way in, huh? You don't just be mediocre.
I guess so, yeah. I just go all the way to the top of everything.
And so one thing that you've been very, very transparent about is, if I start off saying that, what comes to mind?
My dating?
No. about the fact that you've had an abortion.
Yes.
What made you share that story?
Because the enemy is overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony.
And what age were you when you went through that?
So I actually had 2 abortions. I don't usually, honestly, I don't keep track of the date because I don't like to go there. Mm-hmm. But it was definitely, one was in like my early 20s and the other one was like in my later 20s, probably around 28.
And what made you make that decision?
I lived in the world and I believed the lies of the world. The first one, I was in my senior year of college and it took me forever to graduate. And I just believed like, oh, I can't have this baby. I'm going to have to drop out of college. I wouldn't have had to.
Because you had a very supportive mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the lies like, oh, you're not going to be able to afford the baby. Just all the lies that I believed, that I was just like, I have to have the abortion. Yeah, so.
And then at 28, what was that decision based on?
The 28, it was honestly more like a friend that I had recently met, and I low-key honestly didn't really know him that well. We only knew each other for like, when you live in the world, I had this mindset like, oh, if we're friends and if we just vibe well, then yeah, sex is fine. Together. Not even a kid, but it's just like casual sex was a thing in the world. Yeah. So I ended up getting pregnant by just a guy that I didn't really know that well, honestly.
How long did you know?
About a month.
And then, so it wasn't anything intentional?
No.
And then what did he say when you told him you wanted to have an abortion?
So he lived in the West Coast. I lived on the East Coast and I was just visiting for a bit. And when I found out that I was pregnant, it was just this dilemma of how do we co-parent on different sides of the country. So I ended up going back there to try to figure it out because I didn't want to have another abortion because having abortions are just so traumatizing. But ultimately we couldn't figure out a solution. So we ended up making that decision.
And so when you said you went back to the West Coast to figure it out, were you trying to move there or you were just...
We were just trying to talk in person about what we should do. Like it wasn't a phone call conversation. It was like a one-on-one, like face-to-face. What do we do?
And so he agreed to it.
To what?
You having an abortion.
Well, eventually it was like a really traumatizing story because after I had the abortion, literally when we walked out the clinic, he was like, I wish you never had the abortion. He was like, I wish you wanted the baby more than ever. And I was like, what?
And he never said that until
No. So that was just, it was just chaos, which is why God says don't have sex outside of marriage.
And so as you look back on these journeys, was there anybody that you thought while you were in the world that this was your husband?
No.
Because you didn't even think about marriage like that, did you?
Mm-mm.
So in your journey, how do you reconcile in your mind why you haven't met your husband yet?
Well, I think I may have.
Okay, yeah, the new guy. You gonna elevate him like that? You gonna watch this episode and be like,
he's gonna watch it. Well, we're about to do marriage counseling.
Good.
So possibly, hopefully this age as well. But yeah.
Why do you think premarital counseling is important?
Because you just need, the Bible says in abundance of counselors, there's safety.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about them. So we here now.
Well,
so how do you feel? We're going to talk about details of them, but how do you feel about this guy?
I feel good. I feel like I love how he loves me. He loves me very well. Like the way he loves me, I feel like God assigned him to do that. Like I've never had that before.
God assigned him to love you.
I feel like it because it's just so unique and detailed. So
Are you a hopeful romantic?
Yeah, I think so.
So there was a post that you made earlier this year, and you were that was this year, right?
Yeah.
Where you were writing scriptures on planks in the house with this gentleman.
Not the planks.
On the planks on the 4x4s in the house, on the walls of the house. That was this year, right?
That was this year.
Okay, so we're going to go there. Can we go there?
Yeah.
All right. So you were writing scriptures with this gentleman.
Yeah.
And to the world, it looked like this was your husband, fiance, something like that.
Yeah.
I responded in your DMs, congratulations.
Yeah.
And I said, let me know when y'all get engaged so y'all can come on the yellow couch. Do you remember what you sent me back?
I said, we're kind of new, not yet.
And then you sent me a picture of what?
What? Oh, the ring.
The ring.
Yeah.
You sent me a picture of your ring, and I was like, oh, y'all engaged already. Come to the yellow couch. I want y'all on the yellow couch. What happened with that relationship?
Chaos and destruction. It was bad.
Why you said chaos and destruction?
First of all, I learned never to. I'm going to pull a Laterras move. Just show the ring next time. Don't show the face. That's next time. Coin that as the Laterras move. I'm doing that next time because I'm never showing a face again until the wedding day. Period.
So you call that chaos and destruction. Why?
Yes.
Help the people out there. It's a lot of people that are out here dating. The Dear Future Wifey podcast is a huge platform with a lot of single women, with single men, and they're trying to navigate, is this the one? How do I discern whether that's a person sent by God or somebody sent by the enemy? Looking back, hindsight been 2020. You had a guy earlier this year that put a ring on your finger. A few months later, you're sitting on the yellow couch by yourself with the hopes that the relationship that you're in right now ages well. I want you to look back at Johanna back in, what month was that? March?
I think April. Maybe something like that. March or April.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
When you look back from a discerning spirit, what did you miss?
The red flags. The red flags. The thing that I was concerned about in the very beginning is what ended our relationship that I ignored.
Which was what?
Too close with the baby mama. Mm-hmm. It's way too close. Yes.
When you say way too close with your eyebrows jumping
close.
Incredibly close.
Unheard of close. Like, y'all need to get back together close. Yeah.
So, Johanna, how did you tackle that issue? What kind of conversation did you have with him about when you start observing that he's extremely close?
So it started off in phases. The first time I had an issue was when she needed a ride to the airport and he decided to take her to the airport. And
did he tell you that in advance?
He kind of skimmed over. He's like, oh, I'm just taking her to the airport. And I was like, whoa, what? Airport? I'm like, that's just completely inappropriate. Like, why are you taking her to the airport? Y'all are in close proximity to each other by yourself. Like, it was just unheard of for me. I was like, that's weird. And he kind of like didn't even feel that way. But eventually he was like, all right, well, I'll just do it this one time. And after that, I won't do it anymore. And I was like, all right, cool. And they had like this close parenting relationship. So I was like, okay, bet, no drama. I'm for that. So like when he was taking her to the airport, we FaceTimed. I prayed for her that she'd have a safe trip.
You prayed for her?
Yes, I prayed for her that she have a safe travel.
So he showed you on the FaceTime with her.
Yeah.
And you pray for her?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she have a safe flight back. So I'm thinking, all right, I guess we can, this is kind of different, but I'm for the no drama. Yeah, fine. But after that, it just got a little bit more weird. So the next time, it was Resurrection Sunday. I was supposed to be there, but I ended up going home. His daughter wanted to cook something for him, but he ended up going to the baby mama's house. And he was there for hours, and they were cooking dessert. And he sent me a plate that the baby mama cooked for him, and he was eating. And I was like, yeah. Why are you there? And he was there for hours, and I didn't want to be a nag because, the Bible talks about the nagging women, like better live on the corner of the roof than the house with nagging women. So I'm like trying to like not be agitated, but I just had to keep that in my back pocket for later because I'm like, this is inappropriate. Like, y'all need to get married if y'all having Resurrection Sunday dinners. I'm just like, bro, what?
He said y'all need to get married. Resurrection Sunday dinners. When you would say that to him, what did he say? Would he just try to say, oh, we ain't got nothing together? We just like, what would he say?
He would just be like, oh, I could never be with her. She disrespects me when we were together, or she's been with this person. I could never be with her after she's been with this guy. Like, he just made it clear it was just a no.
Did you believe it?
Yeah.
And did you, so what do you think the issue was? It just unhealthy boundaries?
Mm-hmm.
So you felt like, no, he does not want this woman because clearly he's saying that she's not the type of woman he would be with long term, but he just there because of what?
I don't know. I figure soul ties. Well, he would always be like, well, she's family. She's always going to be family. It was my first co-parenting relationship. I had no idea what to expect. So I was like, all right, I guess. So he considered her family. I guess like they had the same DoorDash accounts, and It was just bizarre. I was trying to be understanding. I didn't know.
You said same DoorDash account.
Yeah, I was doing DoorDash and I was like, why is her name on here? So like just stuff like that. Like they share. It was just crazy to me, but I was trying to be understanding.
And then where did the understanding cease?
My first Esther fast. So I was feeling a little bit shaky about the relationship. So I was like, God, if you don't want us to be together, like I need you to make it so clear, like I can break up with him immediately. Literally the same day, this is what happens.
The
same day. So we shared each other's locations. So he would go to the house to pick his daughter up and take her to school. So it was around 5:00. He was there for like 3 hours. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So I realized that he left, went to the school, and then went back. So I was like, wait a minute. The daughter wasn't even there. You were there by.
So do y'all live in the same city?
No, he lived in Tampa.
Okay, he lived in Tampa. Okay.
Yeah. So I realized he was there like for 3 hours just with her. So when I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and then I'm thinking he's going to leave after that, but he ends up staying again. So he's there for like 4 hours, and I'm like, hey, everything okay? Like, what's going on? And he was like, so she was a nurse, and he was like, oh, well, she has a nurse exam. I'm helping her be this like dummy patient for her nurse exam. And I'm like, oh, this is the perfect setup for a role play.
You see future wifey face? Her face just did like this.
I didn't see. Yeah, it was so bad. So I was like, okay. So I was really mad, but I was going to wait until he gets home to really get upset. So I'm trying to be cool, chill. 6:00 passes, 7:00 passes, 8:00 passes, 9:00 passes, 10:00. By the time 10:00 comes, I was like, yeah, no, we got to talk.
He's been there since what time?
5. He's there for 5 hours.
So you said he took the kid to school, so it had to be early in the morning.
No, I thought, so he was there around like 5. He leaves, goes to the girls' school, and then comes back. So
we said the girls' school, the kids' school.
The kids' school. So he was already there before the kid was there. It was just chaos.
And you're just watching
I'm just watching. I'm like,
location.
And this is why you can't get into relationships with people who God doesn't have for you. Because while I'm watching his location, I could be doing other kingdom work, doing other things. But I'm stressed out and freaking out over this. So by the time 10:00 comes, I'm like, bro, like I can't be patient anymore. We need to talk now. So I FaceTime him. He answers with his shirt off. And she's doing nurse things. She's like hitting his knee. She has her white coat on. And I'm like, this is bizarre. And like, he
never had my shirt off at the doctor's office.
It was odd to me. And like, I could tell that he seemed uneasy and she kind of seemed uneasy. She's like, oh, hey, Johanna. And I was like, hey. And he was just, I was like, all right, I'll call you later.
I'll call you later.
No, I said that. I was like, all right, I guess I'll call you later then. And he was like, okay. And then I texted him and I was like, hey, can you step outside to talk? I really need to talk to you.
Absolutely.
Pretty much he like says no, essentially. He didn't say no, but he sends me like her nurse book implying that she's not done. So I was like, okay, bet. So I just sent a breakup text and I was like, yeah, this is too much for me. I'm done.
And you had prayed that prayer that morning?
The same morning, yes.
You prayed that prayer that morning and all this takes place?
All of it happens. And I immediately was able to break up with him. But he never responded to my breakup text.
He said, I don't receive that.
He never responded to my breakup text. And the man stayed there overnight. And I'm watching his location. 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. He's still there. Mind you, I'm heartbroken now. Like, I'm crying. I'm so upset. I'm like, bro, this man didn't even respond. I'm thinking he'd be like, all right, baby, like, hold on.
I'm finna leave right now.
No, radio silence. And then he finally leaves around 8 a.m. And after that, I just block him. I'm like, bro, what?
Did he try calling you?
No.
Before you blocked him?
No. He didn't call me. He didn't try to call me. He didn't try to text me.
He's never tried to call you after that?
After he did, maybe like 2 months later.
2 months?
Yes. Yes.
So what? He called you?
He texted me.
So he wasn't blocked anymore?
Well, I was like, I went back to see. I went on my iMac to be like, did he respond? Because I don't think I had blocked him on my iMac. And I scrolled down and I saw that he like texted me like 2 months later at midnight or something, talking about like, oh, what you did was so impulsive. And he literally gaslighted me and saying like, I forgive you. Like
I forgive you.
Yeah. Because I'm impulsive. And it was just chaotic. It was so bad.
So have you learned, like when somebody says, so what did you think about that text that he sent you?
It was, well, I felt like Lot's wife, and I got in trouble for it by God because he told me not to look back, and God healed me from all that. And when I looked back at the text, I had to heal all over again.
You did?
Yeah, but the things that he said were like really mean. Like, you're impulsive. Like blaming me for me breaking up with him. And I'm trying to expect, we're just going to get closure. We'll talk about it. It'll be peaceful. But it just like backfires in my face.
And you internalized it.
Yeah.
Why? When this is what I want to know, because a lot of times we do that.
Yeah.
And so I want to know why. You prayed a prayer. You're a woman of faith. You say, God, close this door if it ain't supposed to happen. The door is closed. He makes it so glaringly obvious that this is not your person. You have a ring on your finger, and I'm going to ask you whatever happened to the ring. So you have a ring on your finger, and then all of this takes place. God closed the door. 2 months later, he responds to try to gaslight you into, you're the problem. You're the one that did this. Where were you at spiritually where you allowed that lie to override God's truth?
I guess I was just in a disobedient place. That's what happens when we're disobedient. You get hurt.
So are you at a place now that somebody can't tell you something that goes against the word of God and what God showed you, and you believe them over who God says you are?
No.
You still not at that place?
Oh, no, I am at that place.
Okay. I said, God dang, I said, we still got some work to do. So you're at the place now to where that wouldn't work?
Yeah.
Why did you refer to it as Lot's wife?
Because I look back. I wasn't supposed to. I blocked everything, and then I was curious. Did he text me? Did he ever text me? Instead of relying on the healing that comes from God, I was trying to get that closure to heal me. And it was terrible.
I think you set somebody free right now, because that's powerful.
Yes.
You said, gosh, that's good. You said God gave you healing. He gave you peace. He told you to walk away from it. He answered. Then you needed him to get closure from it.
Yeah.
You needed the quote unquote enemy to give you closure for what God has already healed you from.
Yeah. And then I had to go crawling back to God. Lord, heal me. I'm sorry.
Because he broke you again.
Yes.
While you read it, that power broke you again.
Yes.
And now you're sitting up here feeling unworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that attached to? What place in your life? Because a lot of times when we operate as adults in unhealed trauma and we find those moments where we're easily broken, can you go back to a time in your life where you feel like, gosh, this is a common theme in my life? Where you felt like you needed validation from somebody, from some man, from whatever, to make you feel worthy. Because somebody can look at you and be like, she's so confident. She's running around ministering to people. She can stand up there and go toe to toe with unbelievers.
Yeah.
I mean, toe to toe as a woman in the street. Ooh, this is powerful. I just realized something. This is powerful.
Okay.
Understanding what your journey has been in the nightlife, I realize why God uses you in the night. You literally go out now into the streets at nighttime ministering to people.
Wow. I never really considered that.
That is crazy. Because you think you'd be like, I'm just going to go to little festivals early in the daytime, whatever. You be out there in the streets at club hours ministering to people on the streets.
Yeah.
But that's what you used to do back in the day for the enemy. Now God says, I'm going to go ahead and go combat the gates of hell. That just hit me because I didn't know that was your past life in nightlife. So that's pretty cool. But is that resonating with you? Is there any moment in your life where you felt like you were always looking for approval from guys?
I'm sure there was. I can't pinpoint it, but there has to be somewhere if I uncover it a bit more.
And when you had... So are you the type of woman that when you date somebody, you automatically assume that's your husband?
Yeah. Not anymore, but I used to do that for a while.
You said not anymore. You just said this year and then this new guy. You 2 for 2 this year?
I guess so. Fine, yes.
You 2 for 2 this year alone. So And so with this other guy, after you walked away from that relationship, and what does healing look like for you when you say I crawled back to God to go get healed again? What is your healing process?
So that was like probably the biggest heartbreak I had.
Why? Because it was an engagement?
Yeah.
Is that the first time I've ever been engaged?
Blasted his face on social media. Yes, it was the first time I've ever been engaged too.
So I blasted his face on social
media. I did. But I was like, Lord, like, I don't want to sulk for more than 3 days. I want you to take this heartbreak away immediately. So I went on a 3-day no food or water fast, and I just like stayed in my house, closed the door, lights off, and just like prayed and cried and did everything. And he took it away in 3 days.
Yeah, because you did something very aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what would you say to a woman right now who may be dealing with that's dealing with the loss of a love that they thought was supposed to be, and they're waiting for that love to return? What would you say?
To return? Like,
yeah, it ended, but they still ain't let go.
You got to let go or you're going to get hurt. Just simple as that. What the Lord delivered you from, don't return back to your vomit. It's foolish.
Return back to your vomit. Mm-hmm. That's a scripture, ain't it?
It is.
It's like a dog returning back to his vomit.
Yeah.
And when you look at that, when you look at your journey of love, why do you feel like, has anybody ever, I don't know what type of family system you have, but do you get the common question that's always asked to Christian women, why you ain't married yet?
Mm-hmm. All the time.
And what do you say about that?
It's just not God's timing yet. Yeah, I can't force it.
Are you okay with that? Are you okay with God's timing being what it is? And do you ever look back and say, I should have been married by now?
No, I'm okay with God's timing, because whenever I tried to go ahead of him, it just was horrible. So I've learned to just let him be my matchmaker.
With the guy you're dating now, is there a shot clock? Shot clock? Yeah, shot clock. Do you say, now, if he don't propose to me by whatever this time is, then he's wasting my time?
He wants to propose to me. I'm trying to get him to slow down.
Really?
Yeah.
Why you want him to slow down?
Because he wants to get married in like January, February.
Of next year?
Yeah.
So why you want him to slow down?
Just because. Why not?
What you mean, why not? How you gonna slow down an intentional man?
Yeah, true.
So why would you you see what I'm saying? You're saying, why not? Why tell him to slow down? We're going to play devil's advocate. So why would you tell him to slow down? What's wrong with February?
Well, my engagement was in 19 days. My last one. Yeah.
It was 19 days?
It was 19 days. So
from the day you met him until the day. So this is a total stranger that proposed you in 19 days. Okay, so now we got to go back to that. How did you meet this guy?
Through a mutual friend on Instagram. She was just like, oh, I know this guy. I think y'all would be a great match. And then he slides in my DM. Well, I was like having like prayers for my future husband. He slid in my DMs and he was like, oh, I know a guy. And I was like, do you? And so that's how we got connected.
He said, I am that guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then how did he propose to you in 19 days?
So when I met him for the first time, I flew to Tampa, and the next day he pulled out the ring.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, he did.
So your first date?
Yeah, our first time seeing each other. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a fairy tale. Like, what the heck? It was not. It was no.
It was a nightmare.
Yes.
A fairy tale. What did you do with the ring?
I sent it back. God told me to send it back because I would have sold it. Got me a Louis bag or something.
You should have did.
I know, right? I should have.
And so at the end of the day, it was 19 days.
Mm-hmm.
And you felt like, wow, that's God. God can do it suddenly in my life.
Yeah.
What did your mom say?
They were happy. They were excited.
So everybody was happy. You didn't have nobody say that was too soon?
Oh, yeah, I did. I have a lot of people that tell me that was too soon. I even told my dad.
What'd your dad say?
He didn't know.
Oh, you said you didn't? You never told him?
No. Things were out of order. It was a lot of out of order stuff. Like, he didn't even talk to my dad, and we were fasting. I was like, all right, after we fast and this is confirmed, then I'll tell my dad, well, you have to talk to him first. Like, it was just out of order.
You wouldn't do it?
Well,
it didn't last that long enough to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just out of order, too fast, just
So the whole
stuff.
relationship lasted how long?
Maybe 3 months.
So it happened. So
maybe 3 months.
3 months, 19 days y'all were engaged, and then the rest of that was after that. And he still never ever spoke to your dad to this very day. And you never told your dad to this very day.
He found out when I posted the engagement fail on social media.
That's how he found out?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
He was just like, I'm sorry. I thought he would have been mad, like, how come you didn't tell me? But he was just like understanding and said he's sorry about it.
What did your mom say?
Well, my mom was there the whole time the whole thing was when we were breaking up.
While you were dating him?
Yeah. So
she met him?
Yeah, she talked to him on the phone, like FaceTime and stuff, not in person. Why are you looking at me?
Because I just be
it was foolish. I know.
Well, no, it's not so much as foolish. It's one of those things that where we look at stuff, I can understand how we can get caught up in the faith of it. That's the thing about it, because I'll be honest with you, it's been people that's been on my podcast that said they've gotten engaged in 2 weeks and they've been married for 30 years. So it's like, so those are testimonies that people have. Somebody DM'd me about a month ago saying, hey, this is our story. And they've been married for like 35 years or something. And I'm going, when I heard it, I was like, I love them type of miraculous things. Too. And then I go, God, but then also because narcissism is alive and well, you can get that, a woman can hear that and then get love bombed and be like, he did this. And you're like, 19 days is amazing. And then you deal with 3 years of healing over 19 days of an engagement. And so it's just tricky like that. I believe God can. I know that God has. But I'm trying to find the nuances of how do we give proper wisdom so that we can discern love bombing from God's miraculous hand.
Yes, for sure.
And one thing that's resonating with me is the order of it. The order, because I can propose to somebody in 14 days still in order. Hey, what's your daddy's name? What's your mama name? I'm going to fly out there. I'm going to go talk to them. I'm going to do all that, which is what I did with my future wifey. I went and talked to her dad. Her dad said, you could have just talked to me on the phone. He said, but the fact that he said, you already had my blessing before you even came to see me because you booked the flight to come see me. And I was like, wow. He said, because a man that's intentional like that, because that's what it is. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The people that are not assigned by God will be the low vibrational version of it, meaning that they're just going to go do just as little as possible to do it. The person that's meant from God is going to always do stuff in decency and order, no matter how hard it is to do it, because it takes a lot of effort to do it. So love bombing is literally doing something from somebody to give the image that is great. So I can sit there and take you on a trip, you know what I'm saying? And be like, oh, you're going to get flued out. But at the end of the day, a man of God will say, if we go on a trip, I'm going to get a separate room. So we're both got 2 different rooms. Now you like, hold on. He took me out and then he's honoring me too. You know what I'm saying? The man that's going to propose to you quickly will say, I'm going to talk to your mom, I'm going to talk to your daddy. Do you have accountability? Let me talk to your pastor. I want to talk to all these people in these 14 days so that they can actually weigh in on it. Because what happens is when you do it in reverse, now you got to go tell these people, oh yeah, I'm engaged. I'm engaged. What you mean you're engaged? Yeah, I got engaged 2 months ago. 2 months ago, you're a member of our church. Like you're my daughter in the ministry. Why don't I know this guy? Oh, we just decided to do this way. Something that's powerful is and the weight of marriage. You decide to just go do it on your own. Didn't talk. I talked to my pastor. My future wife can tell you, I talked to my pastor. I even talked to her pastor, and her pastor didn't even know her name at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I even talked to her pastor. It's like I just did everything to make sure I covered all bases so that when the devil tries to come up with a lie, I'd be like you're going to go through a whole team of people. You're going to go through her mom. You're going to go through her daddy. You're going to go through my mama. You're going to go through my daddy. My mama even said, oh, that woman right there ain't going to let you get away with nothing. You got you a good woman. That woman is like, my mom says exact words. She seems like she's already part of our family. But if she was some stranger, if she was somebody that they'd be like, now who this woman? Now what's your name again?
Right.
Child, I meet so many women, I can't keep up with all the women Laterras bring around. But they know that I don't bring no women around. My daughter even said that. My daughter even said, like, God, I've prayed for this type of woman for you. But if she was somebody that they didn't even know, she couldn't even say that because they wouldn't even know who she is. They'd be like, I keep hearing you talk about some woman on your podcast. Who is this woman? When are we going to get a chance to meet her?
Yeah.
It'll sound so awkward. And so I answered my own question when I said, how can we discern whether these people are sent by God or sent from the devil? It's the proper protocol of how we vet and who we let to weigh in, which you said early. What's the scriptures you said about a multitude of counsel?
In abundance of counsel, there is safety.
There is safety. Gosh, this is good. So what you're saying now in this process is at the beginning of this episode, you talked about with the guy you're dating now, you're about to get involved in what?
Marriage counseling.
Marriage counseling. In marriage counseling, are you in the heart posture that even if the counselor said this doesn't work, would you be willing to walk away from it?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't want to, I'm not getting divorced ever. I'm doing it one time.
And so you're submitted to the point that if it doesn't work out and you love this guy and it's just, you feel like this is a person assigned by God. No, you never said that, right? You don't feel like this. Do you feel like this is a person that God brought into your life? You say he loves you well, but do you believe that this is a person ordained by God to be your husband?
It's a strong possibility because I told you about the dream that I had.
No, tell it.
When we were praying and fasting about whether the engagement is got from God.
Tell the story.
So when the old guy, we and I got engaged, we were praying and fasting to see whether or not this is something that we should move forward with. And after the fast, I had a dream that I was married and it looked like the guy that I'm with now.
Oh.
So we had a relationship previously.
How long ago?
About a year ago.
Okay.
And I was freaked out because I was not thinking about him at all. He was done. Like we were not a thing. And I was like kind of mad at God. I was like, Lord, what is this? Like I'm engaged to him. How come I had a dream about being married to this guy? This is bizarre. And I was mad and I was like, confused.
Did you ever tell that to your fiance?
No.
I bet you didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah, I had to. You told us to go on the fast, and we decided to go on the fast. I dreamed I was married to somebody else.
Yeah, it scared me, and I was really mad about that, honestly.
So when you ended it with the other guy, you had no hope that y'all would return.
Well, I considered it would be a possibility.
When you were engaged to the other guy?
I'm not talking about this.
So no, we're gonna be real because if God can show up in some unlikely circumstances. So you're engaged with another guy because you didn't make yourself have this dream.
I didn't.
That's what I'm saying. So blame it on God. The reality is you had a dream. You said we were going to fast. You were engaged to one guy, had a dream about being married to the guy that you ended it with last year. And then what did you do? You said I was mad at God, and then what?
So I ended up texting him just because I was just like, hey, I had this dream. I thought that was super weird. And I was like, do you think there's anything behind it? I don't know. I should never texted him, but I did. Yeah, so that's what happened.
And so you texted him, and then he said what?
He was just like, no. He was just like, I think you should just see what's best for you. If the relationship, if you guys are not arguing, if you're good terms, he's like, you should go for it with that. So he was supportive of pushing me the other way, which was like, okay.
And that was your piece.
Yeah.
And then how did it come back around?
After the engagement ended, that's when I reached out, and that's when we were rekindled.
But you see what I'm saying? Decency and in order. I want you to hear that because you can overlook that. You can overlook the way that he handled it. He's told you, see, a guy that's toxic would say, that's what's up. That's what I'm saying. You over here dating this other guy. You supposed to be with me. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're conflicted. Now you break off the engagement to be with the other guy and don't know if it's going to be successful or not. But you could have, quote unquote, essentially left your husband because of a dream to go be with the other guy that played with your heart too. And then now you messed up both situations. But when it's decency, he just said, go do that. That's where you're supposed to be. And gosh, Are you understanding what I mean by that? He let you go do that and then let it naturally end so that when God brought it back together, or I'll just say, I'm going to put God in it. When it's brought back together, it's done in decency and order. He didn't go take somebody's woman.
Yeah.
He didn't go take somebody's fiance. When he tells y'all origin story of y'all relationship, he didn't say, well, she was engaged to this other dude, and she called me and I was like, shoot, leave that dude. So she broke up with him and came to me the next day. Like that's tacky. You know what I'm saying? He said, go over there, be over there. You good? Mm-hmm. And did you look at that as rejection?
No, I was like, oh, that's so nice. I thought it was really sweet.
Johanna, why you say it was sweet?
Because it's so selfless.
So how did so after the engagement ended, then you hit him up, and then what that conversation sound like?
Then we just talked about if we should try it again, get back together. Because I ended it with him because I didn't think there was any attraction.
From you?
Yeah. I wasn't really attracted to him. Like, I thought he was handsome, but I didn't think there was any sexual attraction, which was huge for me. So that's why I ended it.
And he was doing everything right.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah.
This is a real thing. This is a good conversation. Here it is. This woman practicing abstinence says that I have no sexual attraction to this man that could be my husband, so I end it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What have you learned about that? Can sexual attraction be, can it grow?
Yeah, it can grow. And I consider maybe the Lord withheld that from me. Maybe I wasn't supposed to, I'm in ministry talking about purity. Maybe I wasn't supposed to have it at that time. Maybe we were just supposed to be friends.
And build something.
Yeah.
And so when you had that dream, or when you came back to him and had that conversation, you came back to him what? Still knowing that I didn't have this sexual attraction?
Yeah, I still knew it. I was like, I guess I can try. But again, I knew. I even told him, I was like, I don't know if there was any sexual attraction. So I was still a little unsure.
What did he say?
He was like, that's not a thing. There's no such thing as no sexual attraction. He was not about it. He didn't understand it.
And so he believes there's no such thing as not having sexual attraction, or sexual attraction, period.
Period, I guess. I don't know. Well, he just said he didn't understand.
How old is he?
37.
And so he says he just don't understand how you could feel that there's no such thing as that.
Yeah, I guess he didn't really understand it.
And so, but he's okay. So he was like, clearly he didn't care. He's like, you saying this, not a big deal to me. We can still move forward, trying to date.
Yeah.
And what did you think about that?
I gave it a shot because I was like, I'm tired of dealing with these crazy dudes. Like, I want someone that's sweet. And he was always so sweet to me. So I was like, I'll just try it.
Is the sexual attraction growing?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you feel that?
Yes,
I don't want you just saying
I
that.
do.
Just saying. I don't want you just saying something because he gonna watch this and be like,
I know.
Yeah, you done threw me under the bus. But the reality, that's a real thing though.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's real. And as Christians, we need to have those conversations because you can. I remember my friend and I, we did this play called, well, I never released it, but it's called Being Sexually Yoked, of saying that we talk about being equally yoked from a spiritual standpoint, but it's people in marriages that are struggling because they just don't even want to sleep with the person.
Yeah.
And then they get mad because the other person step out and sleep with somebody else, but y'all just don't, like we expect somebody to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you're not even sexually yoked. So I believe that that's a conversation that needs to be had. But also I believe that it's God's infinite wisdom, especially talking about how your past has been, that he would present you a husband that you're not really just trying to jump his bones anyway, that you're sitting back and saying, wow, he can honor my abstinence journey, and you don't feel compelled to do it. So y'all just chilling. That's why that February date may be really great. That the fact that if he's saying, I want to get married to you or propose you, whatever that is, that it needs to happen. Let me ask you that. With that date, you think that's still early? He said get married or engaged?
Married.
Married by, y'all started talking when? Well, let's go back. When y'all dated the first time, how long did y'all date?
It was on and off. It was always on and off. Like we would try it and then I would like not be into it and then we would split. So it was just, and then I would date someone else and I would go back to him because I was hurt and he was always sweet. It was always that pattern.
So he was the cleanup man. He was the man that you always went to he'd patch up your heart.
Yeah.
See, these women be savage. Let me tell y'all, women, look at this camera, women. Y'all be some savages. Y'all have friend zoned y'all's husbands. Listen, come on. I say that all the time. I always say, Holy Spirit, I want you to speak through me so that this can resonate with people like it's never resonated before. The safety that you found in him is what you need in your husband.
Yeah.
And women will friend zone their husband because they're looking for something that may be a toxic trait that they've gotten used to early on, and they're seeking that. It's like someone getting their first hit of weed or drugs. They keep chasing that hit, but they're chasing an addiction instead of something that's safe, something that's whole, something that's pure. You just said that he's so sweet. A lot of women don't speak about men like that. Yeah. He's sweet. He's always there for me. He can watch me go date somebody else, then come back to him and try it again and still be sweet and not be like, no, go back over there. Don't come back here. Back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Now y'all on me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't say that. He's not being triggered. He's just like Christ does with us. When we keep running around doing whatever we do, he comes back and says, I'm married to the backslider. Just come on back. I got you. And he's like, all right, that was cool. Thank you. And then you go run off again. And he says, she'll be back. You come right on back. He said, come here. I know you hurt. And so when you look back at that, you look back and said, he's sweet. And you keep, what made you keep going back to him then? Why can't he just be your consistent homeboy and not be romantic in those off and on again situations?
Because it was more than a friendship type of thing.
How so?
Because he'd always talk about marriage. He wanted to get married to me all the time. So. And
what would you think when you heard him say that? Here's a man intentional. And you just be like, okay, cool. The 19-day guy though, yes. Mm-hmm. The guy that's been consistent.
I think for me, what I had to be delivered from is being attracted to men with status.
So the 19-day guy has status?
Either status or like, no, he didn't really have status, but I loved like entrepreneurial men, those type of men, like I really loved. But I mean, it's just the outward appearance. Like man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. So I just had to be delivered from the outward and just start looking at the heart. Yeah.
When you hear people that have lasting marriages, I've never heard anybody on my podcast yet that said the reason why our marriage lasts 50 years because he was an entrepreneur. The reason why our marriage lasts 50 years because he was fine. Mm-hmm. The reason why I stayed with this woman because, boy, her booty was so big. I just stayed married to her for 35 years because that booty. Yeah. No one ever says anything physical. Matter of fact, what I've heard that even people that are toxic take those clips and run rampant with them. They say, initially, I wasn't even attracted to him. Initially, I wanted a man that looked like this, or I wanted a woman look like that. But that person, and they'll say, I've dated all those type of people and never, ever got married. Yeah. But then I decided to allow God to choose. And this person was opposite of the things that I desired in certain areas. But what they possessed was something of substance that reflected the heart of God. And I knew that that was my husband. So if we can get delivered from what you said, the outward appearance, and I say you still got to be attracted to them, sure. but I have to say we have to discern what we're attracted to. Yeah. Like, are we attracted to, ooh, he got a nice car, he got money, she fine. Mm-hmm. The Bible says beauty is deceptive and charm doesn't last. Charm is deceptive, beauty doesn't last. But a woman who fears and reverences God is greatly to be praised. Yeah. So we have to, God already gave us a cheat code to be like, I know that's what you want. It's going to fade. It ain't going to work out. I know that's what you like. It ain't going to work out. Yeah. And the quicker we can reconcile what we realize doesn't work out with what God's best is, I think a lot of us will be getting married a whole lot sooner.
100%.
Because think I've long, let me go back to what year did you meet, oh boy?
2023. Yeah.
2023. All right. Praise the Lord. 2023. So you met him in 2023. Around what time?
January, February
2023. And you've delayed all this to 2025 to be right back where you started.
Yeah.
How many guys you think you've dated between 2023 and now?
6 or 7.
6 or 7. Yeah. 6 or 7 guys. Sip my little tea right here. 6 or 7 guys wondering if they could possibly be the one, only to avoid the guy that was really the one that's been the most consistent in all those years. 2 years of consistency. What do you think about that?
Foolish.
Why?
You just have to, sometimes God has to break you into humility and obedience.
Break you into humility and obedience. Why do you feel like the Lord had to break you into humility and obedience?
Because our hearts are deceitful and desperately wicked, and we go after our flesh and not at the things of the Spirit all the time.
So that's what this whole learning journey has been for you then, huh? And how has the guy felt that now you're giving him the opportunity to truly love you? Because you said some powerful things at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
I have never been loved like this before.
Yeah. Well, during the time where I was about to call it off again, because I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And he was like, well, we're done after this. You can't come back anymore.
Absolutely.
He was like,
stand on it.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
Keep that energy. Don't let nobody mismanage you. They will have you go and go get healing because you keep being a good man.
Yeah. He was like, if you want to come back, I won't be here. And I was like, no. I was like, he put his foot down. I kind of like that. Put it down again.
He said he put his foot down. Why was you trying to end it that time?
The attraction, the same thing. I didn't think there was any attraction, like sexual attraction or anything.
So you keep going back to the person that you don't have a sexual attraction for, trying to end it because.
But yeah, it has grown, and yeah.
He told you. He said he ain't gonna be here next time.
Yeah, and that kind of scared me. And I was like, no, I do want access to you. Like, I don't want
access to you.
I don't want to not be able to communicate with you anymore. So that kind of like sobered me up a bit.
He told you he wasn't gonna talk to you no more.
No, he's like, we're done. Like, done. Like, I can't go back. Because he started saying, like, I can't just be this fallback guy anymore. So I was like, okay.
That caused some. You said that sobered you.
It did.
When was that? What month was that?
Maybe June or July.
Because you was about to end it again.
Yeah, it's just that pattern I was so used to.
Listen, Johanna, I thank you for your transparency because a lot of women do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we hear men playing with women's hearts like that, but there's a lot of women. They always say that, you know, there's no good men out there. Well, I think some good men are the ones that created the manosphere. I believe that they were good men at first, and then they got cheated on, they got done wrong, and then they start saying, all women are blank, 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 fill in the word. They this. They marry you, divorce you, take all your money, they cheat on you, they sleep with your best friend. I mean, they just come up with the craziest stuff, but they're not making it up. It's what they've lived. And so they'll go, or you have a song like Chris Brown said that said, these H's ain't loyal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you start speaking that, singing those songs like that, and then men be like, you can't trust no woman. And now you start putting that out into people's spirit, and now women are not trustworthy, and let them have an encounter with somebody like you were in the past, where they'd be like, man, I was a good man to this woman. I kept telling her, you know, I talked about marriage with her. I really would have married her. Then found out she married some other dude in 19 days or got engaged to another dude in 19 days. We would have been married by now. I'm trying to marry her now. She's like, that's too soon. How's she gonna say it's too soon for me to get married in February? And I've been knowing her for 2 years, but the guy that knew in 19 days, that wasn't too soon. You see how toxic that is? So when you say that stuff, have you gotten healed from even that? Because at some point you got to pump the brakes and let him lead.
Yeah.
And I know marriage counseling is going to start helping that. And they're going to echo what I'm saying is that at some point you're trying to control something that is healthy, but you have no control over the toxic stuff.
Right.
So when you look back at that now, do you still think, and I mean, you know your own personal life, do you think that by February or March, it'll be too soon for y'all to get married?
No, I don't think so.
Why not now?
Just because we've known each other so well, and I just feel like it checks out, like it clears.
Is he a type of man that's going to talk to your dad?
He's spoken with my dad.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What did your daddy say about him?
He likes him.
What city your dad lives in?
DC.
Oh, so your whole family lives in DC?
Yeah.
Okay. So he spoke to him. He hasn't got a chance to visit him yet?
Well, they met. Well, we had a wedding, and they communicated at the wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all was at a wedding?
My sister got married.
And he came to the wedding?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I always say that that's the worst place to go on a date with somebody too if you're not intentional.
Yeah.
It is the worst. You do not want to go with your woman to a wedding and you're not planning on getting married to her. Because she experienced that. It'll be a part of like, we went to my sister's wedding and we ain't even together no more. And the first thing a person say is, I hate that he was at the wedding with me at my sister's thing. Because that's a memory that will last past, it just lasts past that relationship. So you're like, gosh, I took him around the family, met everybody, you know what I'm saying, at this wedding, and it's just really, really toxic when it doesn't work out. And so let's talk real quick before we wrap up about this heart posture that you have for ministry, going out and evangelizing. What has brought that to be what it is right now? Because you really ramping that up in the last year.
I just feel the Lord called me onto the streets and to evangelize. It just pulled me there. I couldn't really explain it, but I love it. I'll keep doing it forever. Well, until the Lord calls me home. And he evangelizes with me too.
What?
Yes.
Really?
He's my evangelism partner. So we actually go out and evangelize. We were just in New Orleans, and it was his idea to go there to Bourbon Street. So that's been a blessing too, to have someone to evangelize.
So y'all be out on the street together, just walking up to random people, just.
Yeah.
So you're doing it by yourself at first?
No, I had a girl with me. I
I'm about to say.
No, I always have some with me, but I started.
So she'll just be standing there. She's not on. Yeah, she's not on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what were you scared when you first started doing that?
No, I love it.
So you tell me you ain't scared to just walk up to total strangers while they inebriated and high and start challenging them with faith?
No, I love it. It's so fun and it's exciting.
You was never scared to do that?
No.
Why?
I think the Lord just gave me a type of boldness to do it, but
you be having tough conversations with people.
Yeah.
You be confronting people who struggling with homosexuality. And so what is the process before you do that?
Praying and fasting. You have to be led by the Spirit, and you have to go in there fasting too, because you don't know what you'll run into. And that's just really it, just being led by the Spirit.
Have you ever run into somebody that made you challenge your own faith?
No.
Have you ever talked to anybody that gave you a perspective that you didn't have?
Nope. My faith is strong.
So you don't never waver?
No.
Have you ever been out there where you over trying to witness to somebody and they trying to holler at you and trying to get your phone number and talk to you?
Yes, I've had that before.
And then how's that worked out? Have you ever got their phone number?
No, absolutely not.
So when you're on assignment, you're on assignment.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never sat there and was just like, all right, they said, let's go grab a cup of coffee. You'd be like,
no, definitely not. Mm-mm.
Man, whoever this brother is, when I say if he's the one, I want y'all to go full speed ahead, because the day I did an episode with, and I'm gonna be having my friend Cassie on the podcast soon, who lost her husband a few weeks ago, and we don't know how many years we get with that individual. I had a friend that I always refer to on the podcast. His name is King Robinson, and his real name, first name King, and he got married, and his wife died the first year they were married, and to know that he got 1 year to spend with this person, and how we may be just haphazardly delaying forever with that person, not knowing we could have spent X amount of years with that person, but because it took us so long, we're minus 2 years, minus 3 years, minus 10 years, whatever that is, and said, we could have really been 10 years married by now. You know what I'm saying? And so I always say that we gotta, and I talk about that in Student of Love, is that we have to manage those relationships well. And the ones that's not supposed to work out, manage those well so they can end fast, get out of them, and move on to where you're supposed to be. Because if you're entangled and tied up with stuff that ain't supposed to work out, you're delaying the person that God has for you, because you keep spinning the block with stuff that ain't supposed to go there. And so I thank you for your transparency and vulnerability. Anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
No.
You feel like I got all in your business?
I think so.
Do you feel comfortable with everything that was shared? You don't feel uncomfortable?
No.
You don't feel like I uncovered you or anything?
No, y'all can't judge me. I'm
Why
covered
not?
by the blood.
Y'all can't judge me because I'm covered by the blood.
Yeah.
Listen, how can we support you? You got anything coming up?
Just my social media pages if y'all want to follow me there, but nothing crazy.
So you don't have any of those Bible studies and retreats and stuff coming up?
Nothing planned right now.
Okay, and how can they get on the sign up for future retreats?
Just go to my website, godisglamorous.com, or follow me on social medias and I'll post something about it.
God is Glamorous. Now, before we wrap up, where did you get that, and why did you call your social media page God is Glamorous?
Because growing up, I didn't really understand why we should follow God. I considered God boring and why? But when I knew him, finally, I was like, God is amazing. He wants the best for us. He's fun. He wants us to be healthy and wealthy and prosperous. And I just wanted to break down the stereotypes of who God is and show him for what he really is. Because he's just amazing.
You said, so God is Glamorous.
Yeah.
Y'all give it up for my homie, Johanna King. Y'all give it up for y'all.
Stay tuned to the end for a letter to my future wifey.
I'm writing these love letters to you.
Ladarian, thrusted suddenly into Child Protective Services in 2015. My nephew, Black, a boy. The likelihood of being adopted outside of kinship, slim to none. Armani, 16 years old, Black, a boy, with 5 years in the foster care system before I even knew his name. The likelihood of ever being adopted, yep, you guessed it, slim to none. While Ladarian and Armani were trying to survive and barely thrive in an overpopulated and underfunded foster care system, I was living my own life, doing well professionally. Having been a single father with a daughter who at that point was doing well in college, it was my time to live my life, right? Wrong. I felt unsettled, tireless, agitated. There are just too many of our Black children stuck in ambiguity and in the limbo of the foster care system. In 2017, I legally adopted my nephew, Ladarian. Fast forward to 2019, I had no ties to this other young king, but I felt God instructed me to adopt him also, and I obeyed. Starting over with parenting should have been enough, right? Working with various foster care and adoption agencies to help bring awareness to the countless young Black kings in the foster care system should have decreased my agitation, right? Joining the board of directors of Advantage Adoption, an organization that helps find permanent adoptive homes for children in foster care, should have led to some type of resolve, right? No, not at all. None of it felt like I had done enough. I now realize that every one of those experiences was laying the fundamental foundation for my life's mission, Kingdom Royale. Kingdom Royale will be a luxury, state-of-the-art home for foster boys. Our first location will be in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We will utilize the whole person approach that instills identity, empowers them to advocate for themselves, and enlightens them regarding new perspectives and limitless options that they thought were impossible. Though the young kings will attend the local public schools that are in proximity to Kingdom Royale, Our at-home curriculum will broaden their worldview through participating in the arts, attending various cultural events, learning about and engaging in multifaceted discussions about current events and even relevant historical contexts, introducing them to gardening and landscaping and even caring for our animals on our farm and on-site stables. We just launched our Startup Capital campaign with the goal of raising $2.8 million. Now, why $2.8 million? Well, in 2017, I created a web series in which I performed random acts of kindness for targeting the homeless community. One of the most notable successes was that one of the videos went viral, garnering 28 million views. However, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't raise a single dollar to help in implementing a more sustainable plan for the homeless community. So throughout the years, with much remorse, I reflected on not maximizing that moment. I knew if at that time, just 10% of the viewers donated $1, we would have raised at least $2.8 million that could have really established long-term support for the homeless community, or at least started a long-term initiative to do so. This is my do-over. This is our new beginning. Together, we can attack this at the root by specifically helping our homeless Black boys who are already disproportionately represented in the American foster care system. I'm Laterras Whitfield. I've been nominated for 3 regional Emmys documenting my work with the homeless as well as my personal adoption journey. Despite those accolades, the greatest award for me is truly providing the infrastructure for a transformed life. Visit kingdomroyale.com for more details. Crown a king and make a donation today. I love the transparency of Johanna. That was absolutely amazing. Man, I can't wait till y'all grab a hold of Student of Love. I'll share later in some episodes the testimonies that even the team of W Publishing had. They was reading the books. Their team was like, they have never read anything that touched their hearts, that made them be able to apply the lessons that I talk about in the book with their own personal lives. And some of these people have been married 20 plus years, and they said, I didn't think that I would get anything out of a relationship book, though they've been married for years, but they realized the way that I tackle these issues, the way I talk about certain things, they said they got a lot of substance out of it. And so I thank God for that. Here's my favorite part of the podcast where I speak to my future wifey. Dear future wifey, I can't wait until the world hears the journey we had to each other. France the fiance was the mission. Forever is the destination. We were divinely orchestrated in the heavens to meet when we did. Humility was the path to our engagement. Faith is the foundation to marriage. I love you today and forever. Actually, I've always have loved you before I've even knew your name. It was always you, your future hubby.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Remember, be lit, live intentionally and transparently, and don't stop loving.
Make sure to subscribe to our Dear Future Wifey YouTube channel. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. We welcome your support. Simply share our podcast with your friends and family.